Hello blah blah blasters, welcome back to my channel. In this special video, I'm going to show you how a Drag Race season is filmed, so get ready on your seats to discover all the secrets of the production of our favorite TV show. First, let's talk about the pre-production of the show, which is everything that happens before the official filming begins. Usually, the pre-production team plans the entire season's arc at least 4 months in advance. This includes creating the challenges and mini-challenges that will be given to the contestant each week, setting up surprises or plot twists, selecting the guest judges for each episode, confirming with the rotating judges which episodes they will participate in, preparing and making changes to the set, as well as generating all the teasers and images for the season. At the same time, the casting process for the drag queens who will participate is carried out, where they are generally asked to record their audition and send it in to be considered for the season, and the producers of World of Wonder select the cast. About 6 to 4 weeks before production officially starts, the queens selected to participate in the show are contacted. They are required to sign a confidentiality agreement not to reveal anything that they are told about the reality show and are sent a contract to be part of the show. Once the contracts are signed, the queens are given a list of potential runway themes for each episode, informed that they can bring up to 5 suitcases or boxes of costumes, and asked to prepare 2 or 3 characters for the Snatch Game to avoid repetition. They are also summoned a few days before to begin into what is known as the Queen's Kidnapping. During the Queen's Kidnapping, upon arriving in the city where the filming will take place, they are met by a production member who blindfolds them and takes them to the hotel where they will be staying for the 4 weeks of production. Upon arrival at the hotel, the production checks that they do not have any communication devices to prevent leaks and ensure they don't break the show's rules. They are informed that their only contact with the outside world is through notes that must be shared with the production by slipping them under the door. Now, let's talk about production. It is important to mention that although the show airs over 3 or 4 months, filming of an entire season only takes 4 weeks. On the first day, the queens are taken to the workroom for the first time, where they will meet their competitors, so each one is individually brought to the studio where the show is filmed. Before entering the workroom, they are taken to a trailer dressing room to touch up their makeup before making their grand entrance, where they also review with the producers what their first line will be when they present themselves to the audience. Filming each episode takes 1 to 3 days, depending on the challenge they must present, with acting challenges, Snatch Game, rusicals and balls being the longest, while others are shorter like roast, talent shows and Lollapalooza. For Snatch Game, the contestant must present impersonations based on real people and not characters to avoid copyright issues. Many people ask online if the queens are given very little time to learn the choreography, and the answer is no. The reality is that when challenges involve choreography, they are given at least 1 full day to learn it. Each queen is given an iPod preloaded with potential lip-sync songs, but more songs are included than are actually used. It is important to note that the contestants do not have access to clocks, but the daily filming time averages 12 hours. Confessionals are generally recorded at the end of an episode or before starting the next one, and in the most recent seasons, they are asked to wear the same clothes to avoid noticeable jumps in editing. Episodes like Snatch Game are a completely different experience for what we see on screen to how they are filmed. For one thing, when they film the show, it is done in complete silence, without the music we hear or canned laughter, to avoid having a heavily edited result that will not be pleasant to hear. Another point is that although we don't see all the queens answering the questions, during the episode's filming everyone responds, even if some do not make it to the final cut. Additionally, all responses and shots are reviewed in editing to avoid any copyright issues, which is why, for example, Trinity the Dog had a very limited appearance as Lucy in the Snatch Game of All-Star 7 to avoid copyright issues with the film Mean Girls. When it's time to film the runways, RuPaul begins a 6-hour process of makeup and wardrobe, and the queens must walk the runway twice to get enough shots of both of them and the judges giving their opinions. RuPaul is also constantly listening to a prompter that feeds him the lines he needs to say to the contestants both on the runway and when he is visiting them in the workroom. When the judges deliberate, the production splits in two, with half the camera crew following the queens to film Untucked and everything that happens in the workroom, while the other half films the panel's deliberation. The notable exception of this is Drag Race France and Drag Race Down Under, where, due to budget constraints of the networks where they air, after the runway is completed, everything that happens in the workroom is filmed, followed by the judges' deliberation and the lip-sync, to ensure that all filming resources are available, since these are much smaller sets than those used in Spain, Philippines, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Germany, and the United States. If there's a lipstick the queens must choose, as is in the case of All Stars, after the queens select it, they hand it to the production, and after the lip sync, they cut the scene and return it to them to avoid it falling out during their performance. When filming the lip sync, the queens perform the entire song, but due to editing constraints, these are often cut since the allotted TV time must be met for sponsorships and commercials. Although many of us enjoy the show on streaming platforms, remember that it's a reality TV show broadcast on a traditional TV network, as they are the ones who finance the production. Once the queen who received the sachet away is announced, the production splits again and follow her directly to the workroom, where she will leave her final message on the mirror, and then she is independently transported by a van back to the hotel. Meanwhile, the queens and the judges panel film the final portion of the show, which is when the queens leave the stage and return to the workroom to film the post-elimination comments while they remove their makeup, and they are all transported together to the hotel. During these trips, they are prohibited from discussing the production and are monitored to ensure that the cameras do not miss to capture any juicy gossip about the production. The next morning, the eliminated queen meets with the production to pack her suitcases, and they often find notes or messages left by the other contestants. Once they vacate the workroom, the remaining queens return to continue filming. For challenges set by the show, such as musicals or acting challenges, the production provides the queens with the costumes on the day of filming. When a live finale and reunion are filmed, they are usually recorded 2 weeks before airing, so in many cases this happens about a year after the season was actually filmed, as the different versions of the franchise require the recordings to be done well in advance. On the day of the live finale, recordings are made of all possible queens being crowned, and it is not until the day of the broadcast that the queens find out who won. On the other hand, the Meet the Queens videos vary. Sometimes they are filmed before the official season's filming starts, and other times they are recorded after filming, before the media tour to promote the show starts. The season promos are also filmed after the reality production is completed. Undoubtedly, the show's filming is a logistical event that involves many people and hours of work, as well as stress and pressures for the queens, so we invite you to leave your comments of what do you think about the show's filming and whether you would consider auditioning for the show. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and follow us on social media.